we're reproducing as people through a union, right? And so if we are able to get that reproduction going right, then you got the next generation that's better and continuing on good things, and then you build society from that.
So I heard this really interesting quote that this conversation is sort of reminding me. We sort of touched on religion. It was you can build a home, you can build a family off of good values, but you can't build a society off of good values. For that, you need religion. And it doesn't matter what the religion is, as long as it is a religion. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the principles there. I look at it slightly differently.
All right.
So, I come from a Christian worldview. So for me, and that means the Bible is the ultimate understanding of these sort of objective truths from my standpoint and realities. So the way it was designed, the very first thing in the Bible, we have all these different things that are covered, but before God went to anything else, after he created everything, the first thing he started talking about was man and woman and family and relationship. Why? It matters to God because I believe this family is meant to be his image. So from a Christian worldview, you have Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So there's always been eternally distinctive, but it's one person, one God in three persons, I should say. One God in three persons. So God is eternally distinct within the Godhead. So he made men and women in his image. He made men more in the image of Jesus. So as husbands, we're supposed to be like Jesus. And what was Jesus? He was God in physical form. He took on physical pain. He was a carpenter. That was a very physical job. That's why men are naturally larger, naturally just meant to be about these physical things. Then you have the Holy Spirit, which women are made in the image of the Holy Spirit, which again, like we talk about, we're underrepresentation. A lot of people don't talk about the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is God as well, and it is a person. It's not just a thing. And the Holy Spirit has the nurturing, the encouraging, the comforting. That's the dove is the symbol of the Holy Spirit. This is what a woman is supposed to be in that image. So guess what? When women decide, I don't want that, and when men decide, I don't want that, and everybody's all over, you're basically saying, God, I don't really like you. Your image is not that great. You created me to be this, and I'm going to rebel against that. I'm going to just tell you whatever, and I'm going to decide what makes sense to me, and I'm going to make you in my own image and say, oh, well, this is how we should make family, and I should make this, and I'm going to make myself God and think that I'm going to get good results. Right? When you literally made family to be a representation of you so that you're an invisible God, we can see you through the way that we interact. And so what also he started, because it's the building block for everything. So this is why I would say, if you have strong families and families are truly operating in the image of God, then society by nature will come. So there was family first, then there were other institutions. The church wasn't there wasn't communities, there wasn't anything else. It's supposed to be one man, one woman, and God, and a three-person partnership that then would grow and expand and multiply. And society can shape things and grow, but we're reproducing as people through a union, right? And so if we are able to get that reproduction going right, then you got the next generation that's better and continuing on good things. And then you build society from that. But when you don't have that framework, that foundation, when the foundations are broken, what will the righteous do? Even people with good intentions, you have broken foundations, and that's exactly where we are in this very broken world. Society, universities, because families at the forefront are not what they should be.
And what should they be?
They should be what God intended them to be, from my standpoint, in his image, where men have a certain role.
The protector, the provider.
There's some key things, and here's the funny part. Most people, and I'm pulling my phone open because I like literally today was just meditating, thinking about this, preparing, and it's really simple stuff, but it seems like it's lost because it used to just be passed on culturally in families, but now it's lost. So, 4 essential, what I call male value propositions. So everybody thinks about protector provision. I like to put those as one, because if you are protecting, you're also providing security, right? If you're providing finances, you're protecting someone against lack and not having what they need. So they really are the same thing. But for me, there's 2 levels ahead of that. Oh. That's like 3rd on the list.
Oh.
The first should be what I just already mentioned, a dedicated, sacrificial servant leader. And guess what? We're no longer taught anymore as men to be leaders. It's like, and so many young men who grow up without a dad and they only see female leadership, it's almost a shock to them to know that, men are supposed to be leaders. I've seen this with some inner city kids, at one of the nonprofits I work with. They literally like, wow, I didn't realize men are supposed to be leaders. This is how far we've gone from it. And then now women, of course, are like, I don't want that leadership. I just want a man who'll go on my program and I want to be out ahead until it doesn't go right, until there's some problems. But that's what we're supposed to be. But again, sacrificial and servant oriented. And I think a woman who knows a man who's truly committed to her and the family first and foremost, and is capable and is wise and is committed, they want that. But of course, so many men are not those things. So then you don't want that kind of leadership. Second one, communication, issue resolution, and demonstration to dedication of needs. So everyone is always going to come in with baggage. Everyone's always going to come in where they haven't figured everything out, but it's about how can you work through it as a couple. So if you can communicate well, if you can resolve issues well, if you can demonstrate to the other person, I haven't figured this out, but I'm truly committed to meeting your needs, then they can be patient, you could have confidence, you can work through it. We don't build those skills anymore. We just say, oh, let me just go match somewhere else. Let me just get chick on the side. Let me just, it's just everything is so microwave transactional. No one sticks to anything or commits to anything, and they're not focused on the other person's needs. And if we're both focused on needs, we'll race each other to the top on needs.